What's going on, guys? Hootie here with Level Up Gaming, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at another VOD review submitted by Tappy in the Level Up Gaming Discord channel, VODs for review. If you want to submit your own VODs for review, you can join the Level Up Gaming Discord. In the description down below there's a link to that. We also review them live on stream as well as here on the YouTube channel like you're seeing right now, Mondays and Thursdays for that on stream. The link to that is in the description down below. Hit that link. Hit the follow button over there so you can see when I go live, but let's crack straight into it. Okay, so here's one thing to think about. Okay, I don't think this wall that you did here is terrible. Okay, this isn't a very bad wall in my opinion. It's kind of one of the best walls you could do from this position, from this side of the map over here. So what you did here is you partially blocked off heaven and you blocked off the CT push, so they have to push all the way up and through your wall if they want to peek you. Now, since you blocked off only partial heaven, you still give them a little bit of room to peek, but you also have an omen, so that kind of saves you a little bit. When you're playing Viper, your goal should be with your wall, either how can I split this site to force them to run through my wall to take gunfights against me, which gives you a distinct advantage because they instantly take 50 damage when they run through your wall, or it should be how can I block off entrances, as many entrances as possible using this wall, or as many lines of sight as possible using this wall. And that also, again, it makes it harder to retake sites on attack. It makes it harder to entry on attack, all of those sorts of things, right? And then your orb can be used a few different ways. You can block off another line of sight with it. You can put it directly on the bomb to force the diffuser to take a little bit of damage before you molly them or spray them down. It can be used, you know, all kinds of ways like that. You can put it like in line with your wall so that even if they push through your wall, they have to then also push, like, depending on where your wall's at, like through a little choke point or something. I like apple juice. But yeah, there's a few different ways you can play Viper. If you have an omen on your team or another controller of some sort that's going to have smokes as well, what I would do then is focus more on, if he's focusing on smoking off choke points and line of sights, I would focus on the less, you know, like less common line of sights, and maybe just splitting sights with your wall, right? Like split a sight in half with your wall instead of blocking line of sights directly like through the line of sight if you have an omen. Only if he's going to actually be smoking for you though. I like the potential lurk towards A. Careful though, you have the spike. You die here, they take control of this. You put your teammates in a really bad position. Stop looking behind you. You can move backwards. You can hold S and walk backwards to wherever you want to go. You should be looking towards the top here of dirt. Because if an enemy is going to peek you and potentially kill you, they're going to peek you from up here, not from down here. So having your knife out and facing this direction is potential for you to die. Oh my gosh, he does peek you. You get really lucky that he has a stinger. Or don't. You're good. Nice. Good flick. Good reaction to that jet. Make sure, okay, you end up getting this kill, which is good, but make sure you wait to finish your reload before you peek, because if he happens to be looking at you and you're still reloading, you're just dead. You aggressively took this and you didn't really slice the pie like we've been talking about. I think that's fine in this case, only because you're peeking with your teammate. So both of you swinging this almost guarantees that you're going to win this gunfight, or one of you is going to be able to trade the other, because you know he's there in that corner. At least I was able to hear that he was there, so I assume you heard it as well. But yeah, rebinding reload, that's probably a good idea if you have a problem of hitting reload too often. So like this is a perfect example. Let's watch this. That's a good point, Yasin. So Tappy goes around this corner. He pops his ult. I think the ult's a good idea. He clears this angle. Okay, gets the kill. 20 bullets left. 20. There's no reason to reload. What if there's another player here? What if you're like running into another player like that happens to be inside of your ultimate already? There's just no reason to reload there. Let's go back here for a second. Okay, so when you're going to take this angle here, you should back up and slowly slice the pie as you go around this angle, just to clear all the potential spots where she could be. If you need to swing it and take it fast because you're running out of time because the bomb is planted, I understand sometimes you need to do that, but the best thing to do is never to peek this close to the wall. She's going to see you way before you see her, and if she was good and she hit her shots, she would have won that gunfight really, really easily. You fortunately flick and hit the shot here, but she definitely caught you off guard and you were not ready for her to be there.
Oh, nice. Good. They're both A-long.
Actually, not terrible Viper stings, but keep your gun out here. You peek this angle with your
They're both A-long.
so you get really lucky that she doesn't kill you there. First of all, they're not terrible though. They kind of force her out of position. But when you pull this orb out to peek this angle around the box, you haven't cleared any of these angles yet. You don't know where exactly these guys are, where they're going to peek you from. Keep your gun out. There's no reason to have this out. The Sage is dead for sure if you have your gun out here. And then you might even be able to take the fight and kill this Raze, and she wouldn't even hit you with the rocket then. But then you pull your rifle out and you just kind of run back and swing this way. You know the jet is here and you're just not prepared. Your crosshair's not in the right place for it. You're not ready for it. You're kind of full panic. I think you just need to take a deep breath and stop pulling out all your util. Keep your gun out a little bit more. I think you're a little too distracted by your utility. You don't need to throw your orb once you get onto the bomb site. Keep your gun out, win those gunfights first. I use the Vandal depending on the map and the situation and where I'm playing. But a lot of the times I find myself using the Phantom lately because I'm pushing up and playing within that one-shot headshot range, which I mean most positions on this game are within that one-shot headshot range. It depends unless you're like on Icebox or you're on you know, Breeze or something, or even some angles on Haven. The problem is the Phantom's such a better weapon in most situations, like on a retake, for instance, because you're going to be within that one-shot headshot range on a retake. You've got the faster rate of fire. You can spray through smokes and walls and stuff without tracers. Like, there's so many things. Tappy. Work on slicing the pie. Work on that crosshair placement. Your aim's looking decent. It's not terrible. Sometimes your decision making when you're running around with your util out, just, you know, stop peeking angles with your util out. It gets you killed. It doesn't let you get some kills. Yeah, it creates interesting missed opportunities for you. But overall, not bad. Keep working on Viper, but don't be so distracted by Viper's util.